Rita Baez, who's running for county court judge. Thank you so much for coming. I'm honored to have you here.
Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. So there's a lot of people who, when it comes to judges, they don't know what they're voting for. And you're running for county court judge, not circuit. So if you could just tell everybody, what is a county court judge? What do they do? How is it different from a circuit court judge?
Well, the county court is a court which they call the People's Court, because this is where any damages under $50,000 are litigated. It's also where we take care of landlord-tenant evictions. We take care of small claims, anything under the 50, but sometimes even under the $5,000. And we do a lot of collections, credit card work. So it is most likely that a regular person, will end up in the county court at some point in their life versus the circuit court.
Right, so more people will actually come to see a county court judge.
Correct.
Okay, and it's both criminal and civil.
Yes, there is criminal misdemeanors, and if you get assigned there, and that's basically it. And DUIs, that's also what they do.
So in order to become a judge, you actually need to have a minimum 5 years of legal experience. So why don't you tell the voters what type of experience you have to become a judge?
Well, I've been a lawyer for 28 years, and I've been in private practice for almost 27 of those 28 years. Actually, when I went to law school, I graduated in 1996, or I became a lawyer in 1996, and I couldn't find a job. And I ended up doing what I like to call door law, which is I've done everything, any kind of law. I used to do divorce, bankruptcy, breach of contract cases, criminal DUIs, criminal defense. So I've done everything that I've had to do in order to survive for the 28 years. So I'm very lucky and I'm very pleased, to have been able to do that. And that's why now I think it's time that I can run for judge.
Right, which I always say it's excellent to have a judge who's actually practiced as a litigator in court, because you are calling the shots. So how can you do that if you've only done a contract?
Correct.
So especially being in county court, since you've done door law, that's a lot of what you see in county court.
Absolutely. No, and I mean, the whole time I've been a litigator, I'm always in motion calendars, I'm always arguing in front of the court, I'm always dealing with the other side and other lawyers. So I think that gives you the necessary experience that you need, really, to become a judge. And also, I'm a people person, because I mostly represent people, not companies. So I know how to deal with the public and people that find themselves maybe in a situation that is not, the best.
Right.
In a difficult time, but I think I know how to speak to them and help them.
Which is important too. In county court, there's a lot of people who are pro se. So they
Correct.
don't have a lawyer representing them, so they always look to the judge, even though you're not supposed to be able to help them, but you need to know how to communicate with them.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not supposed to be able to help them, but I think we can always be empathetic and sympathetic and at least guide them.
Correct.
And make the best, at least, when I become a judge, I'm going to always try to do something positive for them, if that's, at all possible.
Right. So their experience in court is a positive experience with,
Correct.
It's not always that happy reason you're going to court.
Correct.
But if the judge makes it a little bit better, that's perfect.
That's always better, yes.
So Rita, why should people vote for you versus your opponent?
Well, interestingly, so my opponent has more or less the same amount of years of experience. He has almost 30 years as well. I think the biggest difference and the reason why I believe that I am the better candidate is that he spent 24 of his years working for the city of Miami. So he spent it all working for one institution versus I, who have been working for the whole 28 years in the private sector and for the public and representing people and plaintiffs against big insurance companies. So I think that does make a difference with my people skills and my wealth of knowledge about the law. As I mentioned earlier, having done many areas of the law and helping people in both divorces and bankruptcies, so I think that my experience is broader, and that's what makes me the better candidate.
All right, Rita, so why don't you give us a little tidbit about yourself that maybe people wouldn't know by just reading your bio online that's outside of work?
Okay. Well, like I told you before, I am a native of Miami. I was born and raised here, and right now I still live in Coral Gables, where I was raised. And I live in a house with my 3 Pomeranians, my little baby boys that are named Rhett and Sam and Jack. They're my babies, so I love to spend time with them. I'm also an avid reader. I do read a lot of stuff, especially historical fiction, which is my favorite.
Love that.
And I love to enjoy the things in our community that deal with art. So I go to a lot of art events. Art Basel Week is something very popular for me. I enjoy going to all the art fairs and enjoy, meeting all the artists, especially, up and coming artists. So that's something that I really enjoy doing.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you, Rita, so much for being here. So where can people find information about you? Do you have a website where they can donate as well?
Yes, I have a website. It's ritaforjudge.com. And my number in the ballot is number 317. So if you bubble 317, you'll be voting for me, Rita Maria Baez.
Awesome.
Thank
Good luck.